Yo, what is going on guys? This is Swerve here and welcome back to another Jurassic World Evolution video, or a Frontier video shall we say. So, 4 hours ago this article was published and it's by the Morning Star, which I've actually looked in a little background check for them, and they are relatively reliable. So everything I could say here could be true, and maybe a little bit was changed, I don't know, but it seems like it's relatively quite true. So I am going to read out the article to you, and then we'll pick some good things out, because we may have evidence of a possible release date for Jurassic World Evolution 2. So this is very interesting. Again, I'm not perfectly educated in the background of all this financial state and what self-publishing means and everything like that. I've tried to do my best research, but I've never been taught it the way I would have hoped to. So if you feel like you have better knowledge, feel free to let me know and correct me in anything I do say in the comment section down below. However, Frontier Developments in interim profit falls as revenue down on currency. Video games developer Frontier Developments plc on Wednesday reported a sharp fall in interim profit as a revenue decline, substantially due to currency movements. Shares in Frontier Developments, which is based in Cambridge, were 8.5% lower at 1,322 pence on Wednesday in London. For the 6 months to the end of November, Frontier Developments posted a pre-tax profit of £4.3 million, down 75% from £17.3 million the same period the year before. This is basically because we got Jurassic World Evolution in 2018, basically telling us that Jurassic World Evolution made a lot more money than Frontier not releasing anything during this sort of period. I know they got Planet Zoo, so that probably bumped up the 4.3 million a little bit when it said towards the end of November. But again, that's because Planet Zoo was released in a short time frame from the 5th of November to the end of November, so it doesn't really add on a lot. This was on revenue that dropped by 51% year on year to £32 million from £64.7 million. The group attributed the revenue decline to appreciation of sterling in the fourth quarter of 2019 calendar, undermining revenue since the majority of its record and received in US dollars. The timing of the currency movement was poor for Frontier, as it affected revenue gain over the holiday period in November and December, as well as the launches of Planet Zoo in November and Return to Jurassic Park expansion pack for Jurassic World Evolution in December. Despite the revenue decline, Frontier said all 4 video game titles contributed positively in the period and have continued to do so in the second half of the year to date. Looking ahead, Frontier expects to report a revenue for the financial year ending May 31st in the range of £65 million to £73 million, reflecting an 18% to 28% decline from £89.7 million the year before. Planet Zoo's successful launch and subsequent performance is a testament to the superb efforts of our growing team. We now have 4 successful games in the market, each with a clear roadmap and additional content in line with our proven strategy, said Chief Executive David Braben. So if David Braben did actually say this, he's the Chief Executive, so he's very high up in Frontier and he knows the ins and outs of the whole company. We have started calendar 2020 in a great position. We're bringing Planet Coaster to console players and significantly expanding the Elite Galaxy this year, and developing 2 major games for release in the same financial year for the first time as a self-publisher, Braben said. So you guys are probably thinking, what could this mean? I'll go into what I mean at the moment. I'm just going to pick out some things first. So obviously it was clear to say that Jurassic World Evolution being released in the summer made a lot more money in the same period of the 6 months to the end of November, compared to Planet Zoo being released in early November. So it's clear to see that Jurassic World Evolution made a lot of money, and obviously that may spark a company to make a sequel, especially with a new movie coming out. So again, that could play in their minds because they want more money, and 100% if you look at a financial basis of it, it does make sense, because a company does need money to sort of thrive. Now, it does say that the financial year ends in May 31st, so this financial year is from June 1st, 2019 to May 31st, 2020, which means the next financial year would mean that it will be June 1st, 2020 to May 31st, 2021. So keep that in mind, that's very important information. Now, they say here, we're bringing Planet Coaster to console players and significantly expanding the Elite Galaxy this year, and developing 2 major games for release in the same financial year for the first time as a self-publisher. So when they say we're bringing Planet Coaster to console players and significantly expanding Elite Galaxy, obviously Planet Coaster is going to come to Xbox, I think, and PlayStation, or maybe just Xbox, one or the other. But I think it's definitely on consoles, and then obviously they're going to add loads of more DLC for Elite Dangerous. But you may be thinking the 2 games they're on about is Planet Coaster and Elite Dangerous. But after, he says, and developing 2 major games. And I like how he said major games. So these 2 games, whatever they are, definitely have a big backing from big companies, and they have big names behind them. Now, people expected another sort of Planet Safari, Planet Zoo, maybe a Zoo Tycoon 2, maybe a new sort of Planet Coaster, and that's why they're bringing it to console, but we don't know that. But one thing that has been highly speculated from Frontier Developments is a Jurassic World Evolution 2, and you can't deny it that hearing the word major games definitely sparks your imagination for it to be Jurassic World Evolution 2, because Jurassic World is a major movie. Jurassic lore is a major franchise. So having another major game in from another major game, if that makes sense, it does sort of spark your imagination a little bit. Now, they do say here that it is in the same financial year, which I assume means from the 1st of June 2020 to the 31st of May 2021, which I assume is how long the financial year is, or what they're basing it off here. They do say it's in the same financial year, so I will give you some sort of insights about release dates in a minute, but they also say about being a first time as a self-publisher. Now, from my research, what a self-publisher means is that they're going to publish it themselves. They're not going to have another company publish it. So I thought they did that with Jurassic World Evolution after what I've read. I'm not entirely sure, but I believe with Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, which was released in 2004, what they did, they basically made the game and had other little companies helping out as well. But Atari, the main company, published the game for release, and that's because Frontier were a lot smaller of a company back then. But now they're a really big company, they can afford to publish their own games, and I think that's a really cool idea. Now, again, I'm not entirely wrapped around the definition of what it means as a self-publisher in the gaming industry. Please let me know in the comment section if I am wrong or I'm on the same track, or it might need a little bit more information. I'll maybe pin your comment if I feel it explains perfectly. But I do believe that this means that maybe Universal won't have such a big impact into Jurassic World Evolution 2. We'll have to wait and see about that. But let's talk about release dates, because loads of you guys want release dates and everything like that. So you guys know that Jurassic World 3 is coming out in June 11th, 2021. Now, with it coming out in June 11th, 2021, we should really expect a Jurassic World Evolution 2, if it is going to be a thing, to come out around the same time. Now, I believe that Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom came out in 2018 in June 22nd in America, but also came out in June 11th, I think, in England. So we were able to see it quite a considerably amount of days earlier. But then Jurassic World Evolution also released in June 12th. So you guys were able to play the game before seeing the new movie. So that was very interesting how they sort of planned it out. But what I liked about it is that every single dinosaur on the base roster, not with the Fallen Kingdom DLC, but on the base roster, were either already in the Jurassic franchise or weren't even going to be in the next movie, which was very good, very smart on behalf of Frontier. And I think that was a good idea, because then they would also add the Fallen Kingdom DLC when it was released worldwide, when the movie was released worldwide. They released the DLC, so then you can get the new dinosaurs from the movie, which I don't doubt the fact that this could happen the same. So obviously Jurassic World 3, new era hopefully, is earlier than last year, and we can definitely expect it to be a lot earlier in the UK. In the UK, especially China, I think you get movies a lot earlier than other places like America, France, Germany, everything like that. I think Europe is just really a good basis for getting movies out early. So I don't doubt the fact we could see it on June 2nd maybe for people in England and something like that. So that does show that that's going to be the next calendar or the next financial year after this one coming. So that intrigues me. Are we going to see Jurassic World Evolution 2 being released in May 2021? Very late May of 2021, because technically that is still in the same financial year. But what they could do is say that they have it planned. So they do say, and developing 2 major games for release in the same financial year for the first time as self-publisher. As the same financial year, I do assume that they mean 2020 to 2021, and it will stop in May 31st. So if they release it in May 30th, then again, that's still the same financial year. If they release it in May 31st, still the same financial year. So it's very close to the release of the movie. It may be a bit early. And then there's also, I'm not going to talk loads about them, but there's also been leaks recently about new dinosaur models and the dinosaur names and everything like that that have been taken from Jurassic World 3's production. So again, they may just use those for another DLC, so a new era DLC, if that's even a thing. But they could use that for after the release of the movie worldwide. But it does intrigue me. It's kind of adding up now. Like, it makes sense in my head. I hope it makes sense in your head. Like, we could could be seeing, I don't know what the other major game is. I'm excited for that one as well, because Frontier produced some amazing games. But we can nearly safely say that one of them could be Jurassic World Evolution 2, being released in May 2021. Which is a lot earlier than I thought it'd be. I thought maybe late June or something like that after the release of Jurassic World 3, but it's kind of adding up if they do something similar to how they did it for 2018. Now, it's again for Universal, it's more of a sort of like a promotion test, so they can promote the game and then they can get the game to promote the movie if people are playing the game for the first time. If that makes sense, that's why I feel like it makes sense to release the game before the movie, similar to how they did it last year. Or last time. So I hope that all kind of made sense. Basically what I'm trying to say is that they're definitely developing 2 major games for financial year of June 1st, 2020 to May 31st, 2021. Now, Jurassic World 3 is set to release in June 11th in America, but also could be released earlier in Europe. So what they did last time, they released the game early, just the day after they released the movie in Europe, and then they added Fallen Kingdom DLC dinosaurs later on to update the game. They could do something like that, so we could see the game coming out on May 29th maybe, and then they will have a DLC on June 11th or June 12th that will add Jurassic World 3 dinosaurs. And that's how it could be. I don't know. I'm sort of playing around with my theories. That's why it's sort of a theory video, sort of talkative video, just so you guys can sort of get an understanding of what I'm trying to say and what I'm trying to do, if that makes sense. I hope it kind of makes sense to you guys. I don't really want it to be all over the place. If you do have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comment section down below, and I'll try to explain it best I can. Again, if there's loads of questions being asked the same as usual, then I'll probably just do a frequently asked questions and then pin that at the top. But anyway, that's all I've got it for today's video. If you have enjoyed today's video or you think it's intrigued you for Jurassic World Evolution 2, make sure to help the video out and my channel by smashing that like button and also hitting the subscribe button if you're brand new. We are so close to 12,000 subscribers and I can't egg you guys on enough to subscribe to this channel. 15k before April, hopefully. Maybe we'll have to wait and see. And again, any questions or any thoughts or ideas, feel free to let them know in the comment section down below. But in the meantime, hope you guys have enjoyed. Like, comment and subscribe, all that good stuff. Hope you guys had a wonderful day. It's been Swerve, and peace out.